Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, wanting to take a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Battle Damage General Grievous as seen in Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is a repack, repaint kind of deal, what Gaming Greats is known best for. And this Grievous, he comes with less accessories than the original release, so let's go ahead and get into the review, see if these added paint apps make him a worthy successor, a worthy addition, or just an outright pass. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is your standard deluxe Black Series packaging. Up at the top, you have your Black Series logo. Above the big window showing General Grievous and his 4 lightsabers off well, you have your Gaming Great sticker here. Above Star Wars Battlefront 2 in dark blue, you have General Grievous battle damaged in quotes. Warning 4+ Hasbro. This side of the box features some cool artwork of battle damaged Grievous. This side features your Gaming Greats logo up top, your wraparound window, your blue stripe, your Black Series logo down below. Round back, you have your Black Series logo, a zoom-in artwork of Grievous, the Battlefront 2 logo, his name, battle damaged again, bios in varying languages, pause and read whichever language best applies to you. He's number 25 in the Gaming Greats lineup. That's up above a bunch of legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, more legal stuff down below with a barcode. Up top, you have a hanger tab and a window that allows a little bit of light to get into the packaging without keeping it all dark if you're one of those like shelf collectors. I'm not. I like to open my toys, so without further ado, let's open them up, take a look at what we're getting here. So here's General Grievous out of the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. He comes with 4 claimed lightsabers. These are the exact same 4 that came with the red box Grievous a couple years back. They are painted very nicely, very chrome hilts with red buttons and black punch-ins where appropriate. They look very good. A couple of them have little gold accents. I mean, these are excellent, well-done lightsabers. The blades are very nice shades of blue and green. 2 blue, 2 green, which is accurate to what he wields 4 of. I do really like how this worked out. I'm a fan of this. They work nice. Each blade does unpeg from their respective hilts. However, he does not have any saber storage. This figure is missing accessories from the red box release, I will say. The red box release had his cloak, which had the pockets inside, which would be good hilt storage. This does not have the cloak. The red box release also came with his blaster pistol. This does not come with the blaster pistol. And truthfully, their reasoning for that is because he doesn't wear the cloak or carry the pistol in Battlefront 2, and this is a Gaming Greats figure. Admittedly, I can't super argue against that logic. It is a Gaming Greats figure, not a movie figure, so with that in mind, that is their approach on this. So, what is so special about this General Grievous? Not much. So he's labeled as battle damage, but all that means is that he has a bunch of kind of random scuffs like on his chest, and the shins have a bunch of little scuffs on the tan armor plates, and the arms and the shoulder pads, and he has like the scuffed up left eye. Very nicely painted lizard looking eyes in there too, and there's actually like a shine on the meat around them, makes them look very wet. I like that. He has some similar damage on these arms over here. Now, the original General Grievous figure isn't a clean guy by any stretch. He has some marks, here and there, but he's not weathered quite like this one. And I will say, I don't dislike the look of this new one. I mean, it's kind of like a day-by-day case for Grievous. I could see him looking like this at the end of any battle. And then he comes home and he cleans up his pieces, gets the damaged parts replaced by his doctor droid. Like, I don't hate this. Now, when they announced this figure, it was a pipeline. And when they said battle damaged Grievous, I had hopes of like the extremely battle damaged Grievous, where they're probably going to have to give a unique head sculpt and swap a couple of parts out, but I figured like for a Gaming Greats, where it's going to be like 3 or 4 new pieces and a bunch of reuse, they definitely do it. And then when they showed us it, I won't deny, I was pretty extremely disappointed. But, getting it in hand, I don't totally dislike it. You want to know why you should get this Grievous? You should not get that Grievous to replace this Grievous. You should get that Grievous to be your four-armed, four-lightsaber Grievous on the shelf. Well, you put the cloak on this one and have him be like the general tacticianer kind of guy. Give this guy like one lightsaber or the blaster pistol. That's what you should do. That's what my plan is with this. So like he has a position on the shelf. I will confess. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, if you have that red box Grievous, you kind of know exactly what you're getting here. I mean, there's a lot of really well done sculpting. This was a great figure for the time. He is really underscaled because Grievous, he always does this kind of hunched over thing, which I have him, kind of sort of in right now. And not to get too into size comparisons, but just to bring in, Obi-Wan. He's supposed to, hunched over, tower over Obi-Wan. And they're on pretty equal ground, Grievous hunched over should be more like this. And it's just not how it worked. They're not far from correct, but it is small. Something that is kind of nice is when they made the Magna Guard recently, they made that too small also. So, in a way, him and the Magna Guards aren't going to look bad next to each other. But, yeah, he's a little underscaled, but the sculpt work is nice. The articulation gets a little clunky, I guess. Let's talk about some of the issues, and then we'll do a full articulation breakdown. So he features these splitting arms, and so the forearms peg into each other in a couple places here. He features swivels at both of these arm, like, pins up here with hinges here. But you see they're offset, and so the sucky thing with that is, like, they kind of want to twist backwards when you bend the elbow when they're linked. There's not any great way to bend the elbows and have the hand come forward. Like, that's like the best it can. It's like close to the abdomen. Like, it just doesn't work. So when you split the arms and then you get like a good deep swivel up here at the bicep, then you can, have them do, reach out straight forward. But it doesn't really work that well, when they're connected. I kind of wish, and maybe they will, someday they might go and do a General Grievous where he doesn't have the arm split motion. When I was a kid, I had a 3.75 Grievous that didn't have it. He came with a blue lightsaber, a blaster, and a Magna Guard staff, and he admittedly didn't have much arm articulation at all, but the arms weren't fighting each other, and I feel like that was a benefit there. It'd be cool if they'd give us a Grievous without the splitting arms, you can have the split arms for when you want them, doing cool, battle stuff, but the unsplit arms for when you kind of want them doing, anything else on the shelf. I don't think they're going to ever do that, but it's a pipe dream, and something that I would absolutely love to see. So, let's run through the articulation now. I can't really say any of it's dated, even though it's an older figure, because it's all unique to the character. So he features a double ball neck, which allows him to look that far up, that far down. You can, of course, get side to side and tons of pivot. There's kind of like a double ball system in the shoulder. It basically works as a butterfly joint, but like it also gets all the way around. He can hinge up at the shoulder. As mentioned, the arms are kind of rough, but these arms can hinge up and down separate from one another. They can also twist apart from one another because they're pegged in. And then he features that, upper bicep swivel, and then like a gauntlet sort of swivel. There is no wrist articulation. The wrists are so skinny. I get it. And that gauntlet articulation just gets you what you need there. It features a mid-torso ball joint that allows him to crunch that far back, that far forward. You can, of course, get some side-to-side and rotation. The legs have a bit of swivel to them by nature of them being on ball joints on stuck-out pegs. He can do that far out for a splits. He can go all the way up. He can even go a little bit back. He has double-jointed knees. He can go all the way fold-up mode. And then he has a hinge at like the top ankle. He's got that weird dog leg thing going on. And then he has a hinge at the foot portion here. And then the hinge swivels. Doesn't really work as a great pivot, but like it kind of does. He's a finicky figure, and he's hard to get to balance. But man, this General Grievous, once you get him in like the right pose, it actually works pretty good. I'm going to leave him kind of awkward looking, but at least he's going to stand up there. And I'll show you a good pose on the spinner at the end. But I do want to bring in some figures for some size comparisons. Here he is next to his very recently released Magna Guard. As you see, he stands a little bit taller than that. I feel is accurate. Here he is next to a B1 battle droid, which basically matches Grievous's height and is taller than the Magna Guard. And I think the B1 is actually the accurately scaled one here, not going to lie. He's also a pain in the ass to get to stand. So, yeah, this is not working. There we go. Here he is once more next to Clone Wars Obi-Wan, because this is a Battlefront 2 Grievous, so you see a lot of people fighting Grievous as Clone Wars Obi-Wan. Come on, man. Not having a great time making anyone stand today. There we go. And then, even though he never fights him in this outfit, again, in Battlefront 2, it does happen quite a lot. Here is Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker. So what do I think of this General Grievous? I like it. Like I said, this does not replace your General Grievous you already have. This makes a nice accompanying figure. This is going to be the one like leading all my battle droids. The other one is going to wear his cape and be the one I stand next to Count Dooku. Like, it gives me options for General Grievous here. I think it'll be a little more dynamic for some toy photography because it looks like he's been taking some hits. I will say his armor is very clean for someone who has taken these hits. I think he'd probably look really cool with a dark wash applied to the armor. That might be something I attempt to do with this. This could be made into something really cool with a wash. But I don't hate it. It's a way to get General Grievous back on the shelves. Although I will say, if you want like a definitive one-off Grievous, the only Grievous for your entire collection, the red and black box Grievous is not hard to get. He's pretty readily available on the secondary market. And if you want a one and only Grievous for the set, that's probably the one to get. But I'm happy with this one. I think you potentially could be happy with it as well. It's just a nice accompanying figure. And if you decide it's not for you, I totally understand. For what it's worth, it's a gaming grade, so keep an eye out. It will be on clearance someday. I only got this because I had some really good promos come up. There was a discount for in-store pickups, and then I had enough points to knock it down to where he was actually only a few dollars for me, which was super cool and not how I expected that to work. Otherwise, I'd have passed. But for what it is, I'm happy with it. I think that you'll be too, but I get it if you don't get them. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and I'll see you then. Bye.